Yeah, I'll react to that, sure.
Hey guys.
Hey. I've seen a lot of Philomena Cunk videos, so I had to make sure to go to my channel and search the keywords. I haven't seen this one. I love these types of videos like this and Top Gear, and maybe I'll do that next to start my day because it doesn't require a lot of learning or paying attention. My name is Connor if you're new. Hope everyone's doing well. The original link to the video top of the description. Let's have a laugh. Let's go. I got to give it to Philomena, obviously, but the experts and historians that they bring on are great sports about it.
The actual Domesday book. So is this the actual Domesday book?
This is the actual Domesday book, yes.
And it's usually under glass, isn't it, this book?
Well, usually it's not accessible at all, so it's very rarely on display. So this is really quite a special occasion that we've got it out for you to be able to see it today.
So you're not allowed to touch it?
No.
I thought that was because of the curse.
The curse?
Yeah, I heard that there was a curse on it.
I've definitely not heard that, so I don't think there's a curse.
I thought it was going to be like, Raiders of the Lost Ark, where that Nazi gets his face melted off.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like that.
I'm afraid not.
If we came from...
Book of the what?
You have to touch
so this is at all.
this book.
The actual Domesday book, yes.
Okay.
So you're not allowed to touch
Carry
it.
on.
No.
I thought that was because of the curse.
The curse?
Yeah, I heard that there was a curse on it.
I've definitely not heard that, so I don't think there's a curse.
I thought it was going to be like, Raiders of the Lost Ark, where that Nazi gets his face melted off.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like that.
I'm afraid not.
If we came from monkeys...
Oh, Domesday book. So it was just like a ledger. Okay.
Because some of those monkeys that lived a long time ago turned into other monkeys that we see today, like chimp monkeys and so on.
All right. So the monkeys that didn't turn into humans, they must be gutted that they didn't turn into humans. Right. Sometimes when I watch these past life hypnosis programs on satellite channels, all the people on those, they're always ladies in waiting or gladiators. They're never monkeys. Why is that?
Probably because they don't actually remember their past lives. It's probably not true.
But I find it easier to believe that I was a lady in waiting than a monkey.
Well, it's maybe easy to believe that your ancestors were ladies in waiting, but I don't see the problem between believing both that your ancestors were ladies in waiting a few hundred years ago and before that
monkey
were monkeys.
ladies in waiting. How much money gets made?
How are there still dogs? No. How are there wolves? Dang it. I messed it up. How are there still wolves if dogs came
At
from
Christmas. Before that monkey
were monkeys.
ladies in waiting. How much money gets made at Christmas?
Altogether, I'm sure we spend hundreds of millions of pounds at Christmas.
And how big a cut does the church get?
The church doesn't get anything. And
They don't get anything.
No.
Excuse me?
Big a cut does the church get?
Oh, cut.
The church doesn't get anything. And
They don't get anything.
No.
The supermarket near me's got about 30 tills. How many tills does Amazon have? They must have loads.
They don't have any tills.
What?
They have a computer.
I want this printed out as a poster in my room.
They don't have any tills.
What?
They have a computer.
That's the look of someone who's like, this isn't a real interview, is it?
They don't have any tills.
What?
They have a computer.
One computer?
Yeah, because no one goes there, do they? They just do
I know,
it.
but I thought they'd still had to ring it through.
No, the computer does all that.
So there's one man at a computer just going.
No, I don't think there's a man. No, it just goes automatically. You do that. You're the till.
Did the printing press actually change anything of significance?
If Gutenberg hadn't invented printing, which meant that ideas could be communicated throughout the world, our culture would not have developed in the same way as it has. So in many ways, he has made the world, our modern world today.
So essentially, guys, is the printing press just a giant stamp? Like, you know those, like, those cool, like, little things? Like the... It's like a... Or like a bump bump. So essentially, is it just... You have a bunch of metal letters, okay? And you create the page that you want to duplicate, and then you just put ink over it, and then you just stamp down a piece of parchment, and then repeat? Is that the basic concept?
So that's your idea of significant. So how does the Domesday book compare to a book like The Runaway by Martina Cole?
Well, I've not read The Runaway by Martina Cole, but
It's
I think...
really good.
Guys,
okay,
can you
I
do
think
this?
That's a work of fiction, so it's a made-up story.
The Runaway by Martina Cole.
Well, I've not read The Runaway by Martina Cole, but
It's
I think...
really good.
Okay, I think that's a work of fiction, so it's a made-up story, whereas Domesday is recording the land and landholding in England before the Norman Conquest and after the Norman Conquest. It kind of lists who holds land and what's within that land and how much it's worth, and it does that in a lot of detail.
It makes so much sense. I remarked this... Is that a word? Marked? I said this in a video a few days ago about, I forget, it was a video on a history subject and how after 1066, after the Normans succeeded, that they still held, was it the Confessor? No, they still held the guy that was part of the people that they beat in high regard. And so it doesn't seem like it was a very destructive replacement of culture when the Normans went there. And it makes a lot of sense of just like, all right, there's new leadership here, stuff is changing, let's write stuff down, what belonged to who, let's try and be somewhat fair, you know, and write it down. I think that's interesting. Not like the Vikings, the Jutes.
Holds a land here it's just called Milderhope. It's probably going to have a different name now.
So how can we free the people living in this book?
Well, they don't live in the book.
But their souls are inside the book.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
Metaphorically.
I think this records information about them, but it's not, they're not in there. It's just, you know, it's just a record about them. It doesn't sort of contain their being or anything like that. We don't need to worry about them.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
I've got an expert here with me. Or have I? Or am I here? Maybe I'm imagining them, or they're imagining me. Or am I? Hello, philosophy lady. Am I here?
Yes.
How do you know?
Well, I can see you, I can probably feel you, I can hear you.
Lovely warm hands.
Thank you. It is possible that I'm dreaming.
Yeah. Or I could be dreaming too, couldn't I?
Oh, you could
No,
be
it's
dreaming,
not.
yes, but you asked me whether you were here.
So if
No, it's not. It's not possible if you're it's not possible that you're dreaming, okay? The reason it's not possible, okay, is because whenever I'm in a dream and I think about the possibility of this, it's a dream, I immediately either, like, I wake up, or rarely it's a lucid dream and you don't wake up, but you know you're dreaming, okay? So I 100 trillion% know I'm not dreaming. I could be in a coma. Ooh, I could be in a coma. Shoot. I think I'm having like a mental freak out. No, I'm real.
And it's
if
true,
you
that's
were
a very...
if I was dreaming, that wouldn't have happened. No, if you were dreaming, that wouldn't have happened.
If I were dreaming, then my belief that you are here might be false.
Right.
And unless I can tell that I'm not dreaming, therefore, it's possible that you're not here.
Yeah. But if we both
Or if you're dreaming, it could be possible neither of you are here.
sort of nip ourselves.
Well, the trouble with nipping yourself like that is you might dream that as well. I mean, any test you can do to see whether you're awake, you could do when you're asleep.
No, you can, I just explained. You cannot think you're in a dream. You can't think about possibly being in a dream and not either, okay, realize, wow, this is a dream, or waking up immediately.
Any belief that could be false if you were asleep is a belief of whose truth you can't be certain unless you can be certain that
And guys, I'm throwing a punch right now. I'm throwing a punch. This actually might hurt you if it hit you. If I was dreaming, it would be like when you ever punch in a dream, it's like I'm gonna punch so hard, you know? But I can punch normally right now, so not dreaming.
A lot of revolutions
Could
seem
be
to
in a
be
coma.
about poor people overthrowing the rich. Do you think billionaires like Elon Musk should be worried about getting guillotined?
I think that the French Revolution certainly made a lot of people who were powerful very, very worried about their existence.
I suppose Elon Musk could invent a machine that chops his own head off electronically before the mob arrives.
You know much more about this than I do.
I'm just guessing. What is a building?
A building is anything that anyone has built.
So my shoes are a building.
There may not be a building, they're a physical object, I guess.
Is a stick in the ground a building? How many sticks do you have to put into the ground to make it a building?
A building is also something that people in some way live in or inhabit.
Right. My nephew makes buildings in Minecraft. How much more does he need to do to be considered a qualified architect?
Well, to be a qualified architect in this country, you have to study 5 years at university and do at least 2 years in professional practice.
And how many of those years would be studying Minecraft?
Very few of them. You could continue looking at Minecraft at the same time, but you wouldn't normally use Minecraft as part of an architectural education.
Have you thought about...
If I had kids, I would love if they played Minecraft. I played Minecraft a little bit, like a year ago, and like it's stimulating. You know?
Just selling celebrities, for their organs. Because I'm sure someone would pay a fortune for, like, John Bishop's kidneys.
No, we haven't thought of that, and I think...
Guys, what if we just, like, have designated people who are born, but, like, they're not, but, like, you keep them in a test tube? And then they grow. Oh, that's weird. Never mind.
The comedians do quite a lot for us sometimes that they don't want to.
I was gonna say. I thought it was a good idea. A human organ farm.
And I suspect
they don't know. They've never been conscious.
The sale of bodily parts would be slightly more than they or their representatives would.
It'd be a talking point, though, wouldn't it, if you had John Bishop's kidneys?
It would be a slightly morbid talking point if John was no longer alive. I killed John Bishop.
Did you?
No, I'm just saying I killed John Bishop would be odd.
I've been holding in a pee for 3 minutes. I don't know why I didn't go initially. I can hold it longer.
Talking point.
Why did Stone Age people bury all their stuff underground? Were they worried someone might steal it?
No, that's how we find it.
It's interesting, though. Like, the interesting question, honestly. It's stupid at first, but then I think it's interesting. It's how long does it take if I go place my phone, okay, or this thing right here on the ground, no one touches it. How long does it take for just dirt to naturally go over it and then grass to grow, and then it's 3, 4, 5 inches to a foot underground? Obviously, if it's in a place where there's more soft sediment and water and water, river. I just solved it. There were probably river paths that they were in, and over time they sank down to the bottom of the river, and then sediment went over fast, and then eventually the river changed course, and then grass grew on top of it.
It wasn't always underground. It was on the top. The reason we find it as archaeologists is that we go out and we dig it up.
Oh. How will the world end?
Well, the sun will run out of fuel in about 4 billion years or so. And actually before that, it will begin to swell up, expand. And so we think the Earth will get incinerated.
Do you think we might be able to do something about it?
Stop it being incinerated?
Yeah, stop it being incinerated. Or the sun burning the Earth. Can't we put it out with a big hose or something?
It's an
We could throw icebergs.
inevitable consequence of the laws of nature.
You're pleased with that, are you? You're happy with that? You can live with that?
Well, there's nothing I can do. I mean, also, the Andromeda Galaxy is going to hit us.
The Andromeda Galaxy? A whole galaxy is going to hit
Yeah,
us?
but that's not going to be an issue.
On about the same time scale, actually.
I wonder what the probability... I feel like the Earth would be hit by many more large extinction event level asteroids in the next 4 billion years. And so
as the sun runs out of fuel and expands and incinerates the Earth, a galaxy of 400 billion stars is going to collide with us.
You're much gloomier than I expected, because you're quite smiley.
Well, yeah, well, it's quite a long time in the future.
Speaking as an expert in architecture, do you ever watch Homes Under the Hammer?
No, I don't, no.
You don't watch Homes Under the Hammer?
I've never seen it, no.
Bob the Builder?
You've never seen Homes Under the Hammer?
I've never seen Homes Under the Hammer.
What is that?
Why not? You must have heard about it.
I haven't heard about it, no.
Don't you and the other architects talk about it?
It's not a subject that's ever come up, no.
Is that like a TLC home renovation show?
I think you'd enjoy it. I think you'd get a lot out of it.
I shall go and have a look, yes.
Yeah, I think you should. What's the most disgusting thing you've heard someone do with a red nose? Because my mate Paul, he did this party trick that he always does with a red nose, and he put it sort of on his intimate skin, and it sort of tore it and he went septic. Actually, I think that might mean he qualifies for some sort of charity money.
That is the first and most disgusting thing I've heard done with a red nose.
It's awful, isn't it, to think what people might be doing with them right now. So after the universe ends, there'll be nothing.
Depends what you mean by after the universe ends.
When it's exploded.
Well, it's not going to explode. It's going to, we think,
melt.
Carry on expanding.
Right, and then...
Forever.
Well, that'll be fine, won't it? We need the space.
You get to the point, if it carries on doing that, then galaxies get ripped apart, and then solar systems get ripped apart, and then even planets get ripped apart, and even atoms get ripped apart.
But what if in like trillions of years, not billions, trillions, because you know how like the universe is still expanding and it's in a vacuum, so there's not really stuff to slow it down. But maybe as energy goes down, eventually when gravity does start to slow the expansion, then in trillions of years, then the universe starts to, what's the opposite of expand? Contract back until it forms a singularity again and then explodes and then starts again.
So what?
all the stars will die. Even all the black holes that are left, the final sort of end points of the most massive stars will evaporate away.
So could we fall down a black hole?
You could fall into one.
Is that the same? Because I heard that you could be, if, you know, this is one way that the world could end, is that we're all just sucked off through a hole. I mean, that must be terrible. Can you imagine what it would feel like to be sucked off through a hole?
Yeah.
I love Brian Cox.
I mean, that must...
Love you guys. Hope you're all doing well. Appreciate any comments down below. I'm ready for the rest of my day now. If you enjoyed that, I'd love for you to hit subscribe. It means a lot, and it's completely free. Up to you. See you next time. Bye, guys.